I am super tired and I don't feel like doing much. I don't even feel like doing this video, but I saw Leo Skepke, and he makes his videos lying down when his mental health is taking a dump of a day, and so is mine, but I still want to make the video. So I also got a comment last time where it's just like I kind of drag things out and I talk too much, so I'm gonna try to speed it up. So the video is basically for people who are like, it's more targeted to the young audience or people who just started calisthenics. But I'll probably title the video as just like as advice for like teens or something like that, because I started calisthenics when I was like 15, and I made a whole list. So first rule: if you are a young person and you're starting on calisthenics, get a coach. Get a coach. If you can afford one, get a coach. And if you can't afford one to not get a coach, DM people who are super strong in calisthenics. I know that seems like a Hail Mary and it's not really likely that they'll respond, but you would actually be very much surprised on who will be responding to you. There is this guy named Matthew Ziad, and he's like one of the world's strongest guys in weighted calisthenics and street lifting. And I texted him like a couple years ago, and surprise, surprise, he actually did respond, and he was willing to like give me some advice. Another thing I noticed with like people who were like, in that area, when they see you like actively working hard, because they're like athletes, they got stuff to do. And, whenever someone gives them advice, they never take it. So they don't feel the urge, or like, why should I give you advice when all other people who ask for advice, they don't use it? So yeah, Matthew Ziad, Mindful Mover, there's plenty of great YouTubers that are not like so famous where the DMs are super filled. And, you never know. I actually texted John Onslaughter, and he was actually a team at Thenix, and he responded. And it's not like I had a big page. The most I had for followers when I was like in high school was like probably 1,500, and he still like saw the thing. I remember this so well. He texted me while I was in algebra class, bro. It was so crazy that I actually got a response from him. So yeah, if you can't get a coach, try to learn your best. Another alternative to paying for coaches is actually go to a gymnastics gym. A gymnastics gym is awesome because I'll go on like gyms where it's like open gyms and it's adults, and some of the coaches will be there, and a lot of the calisthenics elements stem from gymnastics. So I can ask them advice for like a planche, advice for like a pull-up, a front lever, and they know not just the regular progressions that calisthenics basic YouTubers just show you. They show you like the reason. They show you why you do that progression. They show you how to do the progression. And it's like, I was trying to learn a front flip the other day, and there's like 50 different progressions you can do. And I was like, no wonder it looks perfect, because there's so many little building blocks to do. But yeah, if you're young, go do a coach. And if you don't have a coach and all those options are unavailable, you're literally too broke to do it, and I've been there, I'd recommend just to watch as much YouTube as possible. Literally be a sponge for knowledge. I got this quote from Red Dead Redemption 2, because I'm a gamer for real. And it was, be greedy only for foresight. Learn as much as you can, no matter what. Because I know what it was like. I didn't have enough money to go to a gym, and I didn't even have enough money to buy a pull-up bar. I was literally doing pull-ups on a door frame. And as well as a coach, it's going to take away like 99% of the overthinking and stress, because it's going to be all on that coach. They're going to track everything. They're going to say, you do this. They're going to tell you, okay, you need to move up. And it takes away a lot of the pressure on you, especially when you're young and you don't know anything. Next thing, if you're young and you're starting out working out, I made this mistake too. And it's, you make it your entire personality. You working out, because I started working out because of a girl. Most guys do. And I realized that, it didn't really work out with that chick, but I still liked working out. Don't let it become your whole personality, because it was damn near autistic on how much I was just working out, and that was the only thing I could talk to. Granted, I didn't have many good social skills, and still I'm working on it today, but there's more to life than working out. And if I were to say, honestly, don't be so like rigid and strict. Go out and enjoy life. Go out and hang out with people. Go to parties. Go to social events. Don't be one of those guys that be like, oh, I'm on my grind set, dog. I gotta get ripped. I gotta work out on the holidays because that's when nobody's working. I wake up at 5 a.m. and then I go to bed at like 4 a.m. It's like, it's not that serious. And even people who are in like gold medal Olympic competitions don't even do that. So don't let it be your personality. If you're young, get a part-time job, and try to extend your area of responsibilities, because as a young guy, you have a lot of time and you're very insecure about many things, and when you have too much time, you have nothing to do, you end up entertaining yourself in areas that don't need your attention. And while exercise can be definitely a great outlet, it's not the only thing you should be occupying your time with. Go outside, touch grass, hang out with people, get yourself in uncomfortable situations and social gatherings, so that way you can also learn and make some longtime friends. Like me, I liked working out a lot, but I worked out outside. I would work out in the park, and I'd say it was one of the best decisions I ever made to go outside and actually work out in a public park. Because what that did, I met so many amazing and strong people, so much stronger than me, training longer than me, or some of them half as long training, but they're like 3 times the strength. And it was just such a blessing just to be able to go outside, see people who are also interested in calisthenics, and we would all be working together, and we still work out together till this day, from like when I was like 17 years old, and I'm almost 22 now, and I met them all just because I went outside going to a park, and then we were all able to hang out outside afterwards. But yeah, just don't make it your entire personality. It's like, if that's all you have to offer, then no one's gonna want to talk to you, for real. Okay, next thing is, as a kid, all right, sleep. I literally wrote down sleep is steroids because as a kid, we're able to like get by off of no sleep, but I promise you, if you're like in a plateau, struggling, stressed out, or something is happening in your workout routine, or you haven't felt strong, get your sleep down. Getting 1 night of good sleep, and I'm not talking like 8 hours, 10 hours. I'm talking about you get enough sleep to where you wake up, you feel refreshed. You feel good, you feel strong. You wake up like perfect cell. He said, I'm ready to kick all these sands. Ain't nothing. Yeah, sleep is steroids, my man. Stop trying to like stay up so late doing dumb stuff that doesn't require your attention. Because I guarantee you, waking up later or earlier, however your sleep schedule works, waking up at the time or going to bed at the right time and you wake up earlier is so much more effective than you trying to stay up and force yourself to do it. Unless it's like a project that's timed till like you have a midnight assignment, then I get it. But if you're like trying to get the most out of your workouts and recovery, sleep is better than steroids. I promise you that. Next thing, healthy comparison. You're a teen, okay? And even if you're not a teen, you're young, you're starting out working out, you're going to compare yourself to literally every human being on the planet, ripped or not. And a lot of the people on social media are on steroids. The thing is that people look to those people, even the ones that are on steroids, as a form of motivation. There's nothing wrong with taking it as motivation. It's just that some people might confuse motivation with just literally just straight up comparing yourself. And I guess the way to tell the difference, I'm not a therapist, but I guess the way to tell the difference would be just you see that person and the motivation will be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool, I want to do that. The comparison, or the unhealthy like body dysmorphic comparison version, would just be you see that guy and you feel like more self-conscious about yourself. A little bit of self-consciousness from seeing someone do that is good. It's honestly good. It's not that bad. But it's when it's over a certain limit of just like, damn, I really need to cut now. I really need to bulk now because I see this guy and he looks so much fucking better than me. Comparison, it depends. Just try not to do it, especially when you're young. You're not supposed to look hot when you're young. And working out helps, but I would say when you're young, looking good is probably, like, I guess the least of your concerns. Doesn't mean you should be out here smelling funky and looking funky. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying you trying to be an Instagram model shouldn't be a priority for you. Next thing, when we start work, is called apply the same work ethic / passion to everything in life. When I started calisthenics, or when most people who they start calisthenics, what they do is that they try this new thing and they like it. They end up having such a deep, fire in their belly to where they just want to do it every day. They love doing calisthenics. I loved doing calisthenics so much every day if I could, 2 times a day if I could, doing handstands whenever I was free, trying to learn as much as I can from this one YouTuber who had a specific handstand. I wanted to see how he got that alignment so straight. I was super deeply engulfed in calisthenics, and that's what most people do when they start calisthenics. But what I want you to do as someone who is young or they start now in calisthenics, when you like have that love to do it every day, I want you to be able to take that same work ethic, that same love, drive, and fire and passion to other areas of your life. Like what I said before, your working out shouldn't be your entire personality. And when you apply that same drive and like love for the game, basically, to other areas of your life, there is nothing you will be able to not do. Like me, I took the same passion, almost obsession, really, of calisthenics to my career, or I guess my job as a welder. When I went to welding school, and I wanted to get in and out as fast as possible so I can get to work. I went to school. The program I was supposed to go in was 8 months. I got out in 4 because I went to school 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. I was stacking classes on classes for the community college I was going to. Stack, trying to get in and out as soon as possible, and I was able to. I passed the class. Even though I sucked at math, I still got the blueprinting pass. Even though I'd never done most of the welding before, all I learned was just from practice on whatever I could. I drained the booth time that I had to a T. I looked up every YouTube video possible. You couldn't tell me nothing about welding that I didn't hear. That's because I had that obsession. That same obsession that I have with calisthenics, apply it to work, apply it to school, apply it to everything else. Don't just have that love and fire for just working out itself. That's such a waste. Next thing, be easy on yourself. This goes in with just like I'd say the mental health aspect of working out in calisthenics. Because a lot of calisthenics moves is just about the flash, honestly. And when you look up calisthenics, what do you see? Everybody's ripped. Everybody can do planche. Everybody is super strong except for me and you. Why is that? It's because everybody who's been doing calisthenics and they're on the internet, they've been on the internet for at least, and training for at least 10 to 20 years. No cap. Chris Heria, Hannibal for King, Zef Zakavelli, Andrea La Rosa, Stepike, Victor Kominov, all these are like foreign names, but they've all been training damn near since they was a kid. You and me started recently. So, you know what I mean? When eventually you will mess up and you will get injured. I've been injured several times, sprained both my wrists doing handstands without warming up. I've busted up my rotator cuff. I've busted up my sternum. I blew out my knee, have terrible ankles. You know what I mean? I'm a mess. But stuff like that, inconveniences, maybe like you're trying to stick to a diet and your family always tries to make you eat out. Maybe it's you missed a training session. Maybe you had a mental health day. Maybe something. There's always going to be something. But the most important thing is that when that thing comes and you mess up something, to not paint things with emotion and to look at it all as, damn, I messed everything up. No, you didn't. The most important part is to be able to stop what you're doing and don't overcompensate. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is that they'll mess up on the diet, then they'll starve themselves right afterwards. Don't overcompensate and don't give up. Just go back to normal. You already messed up the one day, get it back on schedule. Don't try to do more and make up for that lost time. It's lost time. It's lost forever. That's my take on it. Next thing, consistency trumps intensity. Pretty self-explanatory. The guy who practices a kick 1,000 times is more deadly than the guy who practices 1,000 kicks. Not really much to say. Just consider that more when you're just doing stuff, when you're just inconsistent. Next thing, don't skip progressions. This is more towards the calisthenics based. I cannot tell you how much time I would have saved if I stayed consistent learning the basics. The first 2 or 3 years, I was just trying to skip to do the skills. If I had taken the time to get really good at the basics, I would have already had full planche by now, like in my sleep. I say that wholeheartedly because I spent a majority of the time wasting it for going for moves that I wasn't able to do, moves that were getting me injured just because I didn't have the muscle mass or strength to perform them. There were, several times where it's just like, you know, if I had just worked on this earlier, I wouldn't have to work on it now still. So, you know, calisthenics is about the flash. Don't skip progressions. Do your tuck planches. Make sure they're perfect and beautiful. Do your, you know, your knee push-ups. Do your straddle planche with the band. Make sure the form's perfect. You know, don't skip it. There's a reason they're progressions. You know, sometimes you can skip a level or two, but you can't just go from the tutorial to the final boss already. Some people go from tuck planche, then they slap on 500 pounds of bands just to do the full planche. It's not how it's going to work. Next thing, track something. Literally just track something. You're a kid, and if you're starting out in calisthenics or working out in general, literally you breathing around the weights is going to get you stronger. But I would say that since you are young and probably new, I'd say tracking something would be better than nothing. What I mean by tracking something is that it can be either your calories, it could be tracking how many times you eat, it could be your weight range, it could be track how intense your workouts have been feeling, track your rest time. I think I don't want to put a label on what to track. I just prefer you to track something so that way you can kind of get an idea of progression just because you're starting out. So you can't really like say what I'm doing yet. Next thing, nutrition. And it's a very complicated subject, but I'm going to break it down in a minute. Nutrition is probably the most complicated thing on this list. But I would say since we're kids basically and young, it doesn't affect us. But in case there is people watching this that are older, there is hope. Essentially what you want to focus on nutrition-wise if you're trying to get healthier and stronger, I would say avoid the foods that you know are bad for you, like the pizza, the sugary stuff, the donuts. I'm not saying get rid of them. Just don't eat them as much. And for what to eat, it would probably be more fruits and vegetables. Go for more whole food base instead of like the other stuff, like bleached, enriched stuff. Just go for the whole wheat stuff. Less ingredients, the better. Try to go for more natural stuff. I know that stuff's expensive, so do what you can with what you got. Honestly, if it's not the perfect diet, that's okay. Just at least if you can't eat healthier, just eat less of the crap that you do eat. That's probably the best advice. Avoid the fancy moves. And yeah, so this is the last thing on the list. Avoid the fancy moves. Same thing again. When you're starting out in calisthenics, it's a little extreme, in my opinion. But my best advice, I would say, is don't even look at the fancy moves for like 1 to 3 years in calisthenics. And I know that's crazy, and I know it's like the motivation of us starting out. But when I tell you, getting just stronger, body weight-wise, in the basics, makes things so much easier when you're like stronger. And when I talk in basics, like getting super strong at the basics, I'm talking these things are your ABCs. You can go to any freaking high school or college you go to, and the military corporation, they see you and they salivate. That's how good I want you to be at the basics. And the way, like, for the parameters on basics, I would recommend you to be good at is this is kind of from like Team Fortress or Philios. It's been a while. He's like an OG in calisthenics. Basically, 70 push-ups. Or you can do the under basics. Under basics, I'll make another video about that. You can probably do 25 to 30 pull-ups, 15 pistol squats each leg, dips, 40 to 50 reps, muscle-ups, say 8 to 12, and I'd say for leg raises, 10 to 20. Those are the basics. Those are the ones where it's just like, all right, you got a good enough base. Now you can start doing the stuff. And not only just that, you better be able to do it in all grips. You know what I mean? All the grips. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll try to edit some fancy clips from like over the years or just like clips that I think that's entertaining. Hope you enjoy the video. See you.